So, you guys think we're done with Wickenberg, huh? Got another thing coming. You want to see what I'm talking about? Tune into this video. Major changes 55.5 coming right at you. This Vinny Vid production brought to you by Yankee Dabbler. For a 7% discount on your purchases, use code BNSF6951. And by Highways and Byways, awesome graphics for your streets and roads on your model layout. Check it out. Hey guys and gals, welcome back to another Vinny Vid Productions video featuring Vinny Built Structures. Hi, my name is Vinny. I am your host, but I'm also known as BNSF 6951. And then I'm also known as Cousin Vinny. The content you'll see here will be on scratch builds, kit builds, and some kit bashing on model railroad structures. So, if you guys are interested in watching some of these kind of videos, click down here on the icon and subscribe to my channel. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit the bell right next to it. Make sure you do the one with the two little lines on the side so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. With all that being said, come on in, see what I'm doing. Bye for now. Alright guys, we're back out the layout again, and I'm going to give you a sneak peek of what this area is going to look like. I had not put any colored grass down or anything like that. I just put some of the vegetation that's going to be there. So we're going to start at this end, and you can see I dressed up Joe's firehouse a bit. I took those warped roofs off of there. It doesn't look half as bad like that. Anyhow, we're going to go ahead and go around. And that's the cell tower that we're going to be building in the next video. And one of the saguaro cactus, my utility poles. And then the crossing gate will be there. More saguaro, and then we got a barrel cactus down there, and I only have some of this stuff out. I don't have it all out. Then we got the billboard that we're going to be building. More cacti. All right, guys, we're gonna do some more detailed parts for the Wickenberg area. And the stuff we're going to do is stuff that I just showed you on the layout just a few minutes ago with the billboards and some other kind of stuff that we're going to do. Anyhow, for this project, we're going to need a number 272 and the number 273, number 292. These are angles. The other one was I-beams. The first two are I-beams, and this is an angle, the 292. And a 228, which is a 1/8" tubing. First thing we're going to do is we're going to do a billboard. And we're going to do it a little different than the other one I have. I'm going to do this one on the angles, like you see on most roads and stuff. So, what we're going to do first is I'm going to cut off a little piece of this tubing. And I'm going to use that as a measuring point for when I start building the framework for this. So I'm using my my miter, and I'm just going to cut off a small little piece, maybe about 3/4 of an inch or so. And so now I got this little piece right here. You guys can see that, right? And what I'm going to do is I am going to actually glue it down to this piece right here. And this is going to be my template for me to do the rest of the work. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to draw two straight lines. And this doesn't really have to be centered, but I'm going to try and get it as centered as possible. And you'll see why here in a minute. Let me make sure okay. I also using the 1mm styrene. And these will be for where the signs will go. They are 30 feet, 30 feet by 15 feet. So, let's continue on here. Like I said, this is only a template for me to start the project going. Alright, right there. Oh, come back at you. You'll see why I'm doing this in a minute, guys. Making a little tool is what I'm doing. Alright, so now that I have those two lines drawn, as you guys can see that. Yeah, now you can. I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to glue him down right between those. And then you'll see why. Now, a lot of people have been asking what kind of glue I use, and I say this all the time. I use Model Masters cement for plastic. I like it. I've been using this stuff for years and it has not let me down, so I'm going to continue to use it. Alright, so put a little of the cement on here. Just like that. And by the way, guys, I'm using my new microphone, so I hope you guys can hear me. And I don't have to do this whole thing all over again. But anyhow, yeah, just like that, in the center. Just like that. Now, I already cut the, I think this was, let me see, I think this, yeah, it was the 273. 273, no, sorry, I'm getting confused here. Hold on. That over there, put that over there. And it was this one that I cut, right? Yeah. So I already cut the 273. And those are going to go along here like this. And this is going to be the ground of the rest of the build, the ground floor of the rest of the build. So one's going to go there like that. And one's going to go there like that. Now these are not going to get glued down here. These I'm just using as a reference, so when I put the tube in there, it'll fit. So put that like that, put that like that. Make sure that this is straight. Straight. Now I want to figure out what kind of angle I want here. So I think that if we go, let's see, we go from here. Let's see, where's my, there. Now I did make these a little bit long, and I could trim them down later. I'm doing this on the fly, guys. I wasn't really planning on doing this, but I'm just doing it on the fly right now. So let's see. Let's from there, let's go out maybe a 1/4 inch. Okay, so we're going to go out a 1/4 inch from the center right there. And we'll do the same thing on the other side from the line or from the beam. We'll go out a 1/4 inch. Okay, and then from this point here, we will go ahead and draw our angle. And like I said, guys, I'm doing this on the fly. And so I don't know how this is going to work out. But I guess we'll find out here pretty soon. Okay, there's one. I'm going to do the second one the same way. And draw that guy out. Alright, so now what you got is something that looks like that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the same I-beams. Actually, I should use the other I-beams, the fatter ones. This is the fatter ones. The 273 is the fatter ones. Okay, we use the 272s to do the cross members. They're a little bit smaller. And I think that would be prototypical. So what we're going to do now is we will take, besides those two that we cut out, we're going to take two more and we're going to cut them out this way. Like that. And when they stand up, they'll be okay. Why don't I just go ahead and cut it right now anyhow. And I'm cutting it on the angle just in case I want to leave it at that length. Alright, there's one. Now we already got an angle on this one, so we can do him there. I should have cut an angle on the front of the other one also. Alright, so cut him here. Alright. Alright, so now the object is to get these guys to stand up on edge. Like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put cross beams. Cross. Like that. With the centerpieces in there. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do that off the camera. And I'll bring you back when that part is done. So we'll be back shortly. Alright guys, if you did this the way I showed you how to do it, this is what you should wind up with. Is something that looks like that. And now we can just take it off like that. Nice and gently. And so this is what you should have. Alright, so this is the framework for our billboard. I made the stanchion 50 feet, I think. Hold on, let me make sure. I don't want to give you any wrong information. I made the stanchion a total of 29 feet. And to where the billboard is going to be is 26 feet. So basically what's going to happen is I will take this guy, and as you can see right there, I made a little square. So I have a place to secure, and then I put the black mark up there is where I want this to sit. So I'm going to put that in there like that. And I could go above the top like that, but I'm not. I'm just going to go right directly even with the top of the pole. And I added these little angles down here so I'd have sufficient gluing area. But for right now, we're going to move on to the next part, which is going to be the sign itself. Now, what I did with the sign, you can see I got the walkway right here for a person to sit up there and walk. So I'll show you how I built this. Again, it's the 1 millimeter, and I think I told you the size of this. I think it was, I'll tell you for sure. It was 30 feet by 15 feet. So, what I did was, I made the walkway 4 feet this way, and then I took the angle, which was the number 293, and I glued it to the surface here, and we'll do that right now. Remember, I like to prime my glue, and you say, prime your glue, what does that mean? I like to get it going before I actually go to the project part, because all of a sudden you'll get a big glob. So I like to get the glob out of the way first. All right, so I'm going to slide this over to the side here, and I am going to make sure it's even all the way around along the back right here. And we give that a couple minutes to dry, because then what we're going to do is mount the sign to that. So it kind of gives a little bit of support down here on the bottom. Now in the meanwhile, I can go ahead and sand down. Remember I told you guys whenever you cut something, there's always going to be a little ridge. And so we're going to go ahead and sand that down while we're waiting for that other thing to dry. Alright, well, we got a little bit on this side too. Just make sure you do both sides, guys, because when you get rid of the ridge that's on there, you'll get a better fit for everything. So, and also I think I mentioned this earlier, that I am using, I found a way to go through OBS to actually do recordings, video recordings. And so because of that, I'm able to use my Yeti microphone. So let's see how this is all going to turn out. Anyhow, this is all sanded down right now. And a little bit more on the back side right there. All right. Now, next thing we're going to do is going to go ahead and glue it to the angle that we just put on there. I got my slider open and the kids next door are making all kinds of noise. That's cool. How nice it is out today. It's really awesome out there today. All right, so then we're going to take our sign part and we're going to put it on that angle. And then to make sure that it stays straight. Now, if you have a small L or something like that, could be used as a 90. Just take it. Make sure you put a piece on the opposite side too, so it's level, and just hold it up there. Make sure that it's nice and straight and level. And so, with that being said, we're gonna have to wait for this to dry up, and then we'll start putting this whole thing together. This whole project didn't take very long. If I had done it straight through, probably an hour. So, that being said, hang on, and we'll be back shortly. Alright guys, now what we're going to do at this particular build right here is we're going to go ahead and attach the framework to the top. And as you can see, I put a little cap right there just so the tubing can't go any further up. And so now, basically what we're going to do is we're going to dress these guys up a little bit. And what I mean by that is we're going to put some structure on the back side of this, you know, like I-beams and stuff like that to make it look like something hefty or whatever. Anyhow, let's see, what do we have here? We have an I-beam here, and we're just going to put like 3 of them, and then we'll do some cross bracing, and we'll see how that looks. So, with that being said, we'll go ahead and do this. Oops, I broke it. Oh no! Damn, I didn't think that was going to happen. All right, well, that's no big deal. We could fix that. We can fix it. We can make you better. There you go. All right. All right, so we'll let this one dry up, and meanwhile we'll do work on the other one. So basically what we're going to do is we're just going to cut a couple of these guys up. And let's see. Cut him right about there. And this is I-beam, by the way, guys, that I'm using back here. I just want to give this a little bit more detail, you know, just make it look kind of like what it's supposed to look like. We're going to need 3 of these, so that's 2. Actually, we're going to need 6. 3 for the other one also. Woo! All right. So now we're just going to take this. I'm just going to put a little dab of glue on the back side of this guy. Like this. All right. We'll take him, put him there, and make sure he's right at the edge. Kind of like that. And do the same thing on this side. All right, and then what we're going to do is put one in the middle. So we measure, now remember earlier I told you that these were 30 feet, so we need to measure off 15 feet. And this right there, and this guy looks crooked. Let's fix him now before it gets too hard. All right, and now we'll go ahead and put the last one down the middle. All right, so this is what we should have now. And we'll let that dry up a little bit. And we should be able to do this guy next. I don't know why this stupid blade keeps getting loose. I'd rather make them a little bit longer. I can always trim them down after they're glued on, than make them too short and then have to redo it. So making it longer is always better. It's the same thing as making it bigger. You could always making it smaller so you can make it bigger. Did I say that right? I don't think I did. I'm making this bigger, so if I have to, I can make it smaller. And when you're building a building, it's the same principle. You make it bigger, so if you have to make it small, if you have to make any adjustments, you could make it smaller. Anyhow, there you go. There's a 3 for this one. And we'll go ahead and put him on there. Now, I have no clue on what color I'm going to paint this. I mean, I look around and I see most of them are like a grayish color, so maybe that's the color I'll just go with. I don't know. Hopefully I can find my airbrush. That would be cool. Get my airbrush fired up. All right, and now we will go to the 15-foot mark and put a bead of glue, screwy-doo, just like that, and put in my last piece, and then we're going to let this dry up before we go any further. All right. All right, so this is what we got now. 2 of them with the beams on them. And so we'll let these dry up and we'll come back in a little bit. All right, guys. I'm assuming that all you guys have seen the previous video with this billboard right there, okay? And so I had a happy mistake with it. When I rewatched the video after it was rendered, I noticed that this guy looked a little bit short to me. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take an extension like this. I'm going to put a smaller tube inside, and this part will go into the sub-road bed, and I'll just glue this part into the sub-road bed, and then I can just slip this part over it, and see, like that. And now I have extended another, I guess, 10 feet or so, which I think personally looks a lot better. Now, we're going to go ahead and finish this guy up, and then we're going to start the other project. And what I mean by finish this guy up is how I get my signage. Okay, so with that being said, I'll show you how I get my signage. We'll just move this guy over to the side right now. I think that everyone gets these kind of things in the mail. Okay, I get this at least once a month, and what it is everybody that's in the area has advertisements in them. Okay, such as that's got big old tires, and let's see, carpet and tile kind of business and stuff like that. So I go through these and I look for the ones that will fit the billboard. So I went ahead this morning and just did 4 of them that look like that they would fit, and they will fit. Okay, so here's a pretty popular one, Sears, right? Everybody knows Sears. Oops, can't put it upside down. So if I put that on there like that, look at that. We have a billboard that's advertising Sears. And these are businesses that are either nationwide or right here in the valley. Okay, so this is A Authentic Garage Doors. And actually, they had done some work for me on my garage door. So it's real easy, and then I'll show you how these will get done. But before we do that, this whole thing has to get painted. So we're going to take this out to my garage, and we're going to give it a spritz of, I don't know, maybe a gray color, I guess. I don't know. But I think the faces of the billboard will be painted white. This way it doesn't matter what color, because see, I have this black one right here, and I think that's going to look awesome. Anyhow, give me a few minutes to go out there and paint this, and in the meanwhile, I'll show you the next project that we're going to be doing in this video. So with all that being said, stay tuned, and we'll be back in a little bit. Alright guys, first of all, I took this authentic garage door services because they actually did work on my garage door, so I figured I'd give them a little plug because they did a good job and they didn't charge me an arm and a leg, just an arm. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and show you how I put that on there. And we're going to go to the blank side. And we're going to see, we'll try and get these in the middle. Now, if I really felt up to it, I would go ahead and try and match this color. So the spots that aren't covered by this would be the same color. But I'm not that enthusiastic about that. So we'll put that about the middle. Make sure it's as square as possible. And we'll see where the glue has to go. So basically, put a couple little lines right there. Glue needs to go between here and here. Alright, so what I have in this cup right here is a 50-50 glue. And what we're going to do is we're going to just dab the brush in there and clean some of it off and dab it in there again. Make sure you get the water with it. Dab it off a little bit on the sides. You can see that what I'm doing there. And then we're going to take it and we're going to go, let's hold this here. And dab it on like that. And then you're going to spread it. Now, every time you make a pass, take some off because you want a real thin layer of glue on there. And make sure you get the entire thing where the stick is going, where the paper is going to be. All right. So that's looking pretty good right now. So I guess now we'll take this guy, and like I said, we'll try and get him centered on there. I can see where my lines are. Try and get even with the edges. I could trim them down if I have to, but I think I already did trim them down. And that looks pretty good. And just gently take your finger and rub over it. And any air bubbles that you see, your fingers will take care of it. Yeah, it looks pretty even, I guess. Looks like it could be a little high on one side. I don't know, once you put that down, if you can actually move it like a decal, but I don't think so. I'd probably have to tear it up. But that looks good enough for me. How does that look? I mean, yeah, the white should have been the same color as the background on here, but for a quick and easy build, I mean, total, this and the cell tower probably took me 2 hours to do if I was doing it straight through without doing any filming and all that kind of stuff. But anyhow, as you can see, it laid down pretty flat. Right? Looks pretty good to me. All right, anyhow. Alright guys, while we wait for the billboard to dry, I already painted the face white, and I did the stanchion and all the ironwork with a beige color. It looks really nice, actually. So anyhow, now we're going to go on to the cell tower. The one that you saw in the video is not the one that we're going to be doing there. I borrowed that one just to show you guys what was going to be happening there. Anyhow, I wanted a thinner thinner trunk, I guess you want to call it, but it's not really a trunk. But I had already drilled a hole out in the triangle for a larger size, so I found a tube that fits inside the tube will work. So actually I made that smaller. And also what I'm going to do is the same thing on the billboard. Is this piece down here is going to be removable like that, so I can permanently put this in the ground and just put this in when I'm not doing anything behind it, so I don't knock it over and break it and all that kind of stuff. So the stanchion itself is 45 feet with a 2.5 inch diameter hole or pipe, whatever you want to call it. The triangle is 18 scale feet. Wait a minute, no. No, that can't be right. Hold on. Or maybe it is. If it is, that's way big. It is. It's 18 scale feet. It's kind of big, but it's a model, and I guess if I would make it to scale, it would be really small, way smaller than this. This is probably good for HO. But anyhow, so yeah, so each side is 18. This is going to be the antenna array. You guys can see that right there. And what these guys are here are half round styrene strips. And so we're going to mount them on this crossbar right now, and then when they dry up, we will go ahead and mount it on here, on each side of the triangle. So with all that being said, I got this already set up down here. I don't know, let me see if I can get the camera in a bit closer, maybe. Yeah, there you go. Alright. Just make sure everything is cool. Can you guys, I hope you guys can see that. Should I move it up maybe a little bit? Get a little more light in there. I don't know why it's so dark in there. Alright, anyhow. Since I'm going to have so many of these guys, I am going to go ahead and use my chopper. And I already have it set up. These are 15 millimeters long. And like I said, this is probably way out of scale, but you know what? It's a model, and when it's on the layout, it looks just fine. So we're going to go ahead, and like I said, I already have this set up at 15 millimeters, and we're going to just chop away. I think I need like 10 of these. There's one. Actually 9. I already have one over there. 2. Anybody uses this chopper, you really need to be careful with that blade, because that blade, it won't think twice. It'll bite you real good. There's 3. Oops. I don't know where that one went. Alright, so, oh, here it is. It's hiding. Come on. I'll just do 5 for now, and we'll glue these in place, and then I'll finish the rest off the camera. Alright, so there's 5. Okay. Alright. Alright, so the next task is, you may see 3 pieces of plastic here, but we're only going to glue in the center. The reason for the other 2 is so it will stay even. It won't rock back and forth. I think I need to adjust the color on this or something. My skin looks really, really dark. I don't know. Anyhow, my go-to glue. Alright, let me get one of these ready. And what I'm doing is I am favoring, oops. Alright, stay in place now. Alright, of course, as soon as you turn the camera on, something goes wrong. Yeah. Alright, I'm favoring the bottom one here. As you saw that those didn't look like they were centered. I wanted that to give it that little look. So when I put these on here, I will put these close to the bottom rail right here. And so we shall begin. I know I should be using tweezers, but my hands seem to work better just with my hands. Got to make sure you get the right side, right side up. You want the half round facing outwards. It gives it kind of like, make it look like an antenna, I guess, in my opinion. Then what do I know? Each one of these will get five of these antennas, so there'll be 15 antennas on this. And I've seen where they mount the antennas, mounted in all kinds of different ways. I was going to try and do one of the ways that I saw, and I thought it would be a really nice build. Instead of doing like what I'm doing right here with the plastic, is to actually use wire, like a piano wire, drill a hole in the back of here, and then drill a hole into this guy. And yeah, I would like to do that one of these days, but that's not going to be anytime soon, that's for sure. All right, that's 3. Oops. Okay, that's 3. Four, and the last one, and 5. All right, guys, that's 2 of them. The one I did previously and the one I just said now I need to do one more, but I'm going to do that off camera. So take it easy, and we'll be back in a little bit. All right, guys, we're back. So now let me show you the progress I've made so far. Here is my billboard. It's all painted up, and I don't know if you can see the color here. It's like a tan or a beige, and it is on that piece right there. So the bottom piece here will get mounted permanently in the layout, and then I could take this off and on whenever I feel like I want to do that. Anyhow, you can see it's all white, and inside is all the beige color. The underneath, let me see if I can get an underneath shot. The underneath shot is all done up nice and pretty. Anyhow, that one is ready for signage. So, well, signage and then the handrails. I got to do signage first. Anyhow, we're going to keep continuing on the cell tower here. I wanted this tube to be as thin as possible to represent the trunk of a tree. Now, unfortunately, on my other ones, I used to take the whole thing, just put the whole thing right in the hole and just have the head of the palm tree sticking out. But that was when I was using a lot wider tubing. So, because of that, these actually come apart. This will pull right off of here. There's a peg under there that the leads would sit on. So I pulled it off, and I did this. So what we have here is a tube. It's this guy. Inside of another tube, which is this guy, that fit perfectly. And then this whole thing will go into here like that and sit all the way down to the top, just like that. But don't forget, we're gonna have the triangle in there with all these guys on there. Now, next thing for me to do is to find the color that will come close to this color, which is kind of like a brownish grayish color, and we'll paint this, or I will paint it the same color as I painted the billboard. That's up in the air yet. These guys will get painted aluminum, and the triangle will get painted whatever the base color is going to be. And this is going to be the same thing, guys. This is going to have a removable tube on the bottom, which is going to be permanent in the layout, and I'll be able to take this on and off as needed to work on this side of it. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and paint this stuff and put it together, and we'll see what it looks like out on the layout. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, here we are back out the layout, and as you can see I have the first billboard standing right there. And back out a little so it doesn't look so closed. But anyhow, what's cool about this, the way I'm going to mount this is I'll be able to spin this around, and no matter which way the traffic is going, they can see both sides. Now, the other good thing about this is I can do that. Now this piece right here will get permanently installed into the layout. I'll cut this tube down a little bit, but I'm able to take it in and out as I want to. Now, let me move down a little bit further, and we will look at my palm tree cell tower. Now, somebody mentioned that they see these disguised as pine trees, and yes, that is true. I've seen them also. Sorry about that movement there, fellas. That is true also, but here in Arizona, I've seen a few that look like palm trees. And of course, they had the base worked up to look like a trunk of a tree. I'm not going to go that far. Anyhow, same thing here. There'll be a piece that will be embedded into the ground, and then I'll be able to take this off as I want to, if I want to work on the layout behind. Anyhow, because I love you guys, I am going to give you a sneak peek of what this is going to look like with the roads and some of the scenery down. Oh, and by the way, the next video that will be coming out, I'll be showing you guys from start to finish how to do these billboards. And I have shown you guys how I did that one, which I'm going to finish up now. And I've also shown you guys that one, on how I did that one. So I will show you how I did the billboard and how I did the cell tower. But in the meanwhile, these are all the new roads. They're not fastened down. I just got them there just to show you guys what this is all going to look like. And I think this scene is going to look awesome when it gets done. Anyhow, I hope you guys and gals enjoyed this video. And as always, your questions, comments, input, subs, shares, and likes are always welcome. For now, that's all, folks. BNSF 6951 and the Cuz out for now.